Well, welcome to the call, everyone. We are going to keep this to 30 minutes or less, I promise. As I explained before, this is week 1 of an 8-week course for our GPS, our Global Prospecting System. And what we're trying to do is to there's many incredible cutting-edge technology and features of the GPS system. We want to try to break it down just week by week and just highlight one feature at a time, so that although as exciting as it is to have this incredible resource, it's important that we also don't get overwhelmed. And so we just want to take one step at a time. So regardless of whatever your background is in any kind of online strategies or using social media with your Youngevity business, it's important for everyone to know that none of that is required at all to have any background experience in this at all. We're going to just take 1 week at a time and highlight certain features. So for this week, we're going to focus on our customer management system and also our follow-up. So here are the things that we want to go over today. We're going to talk about how to add contacts to the system. That will include both how to import email lists from anything that you've collected in the past and doing that on your desktop. And we're also going to briefly talk about some of the mobile and tablet apps that we have. They're, of course, free for all subscribers. On your homepage, which I'll show you there in a minute, we'll be diving into the back office, and I'll be not only talking you through some of these steps, but visually showing you the steps as we go. We're going to talk about keeping contacts organized and how the system does that. We'll talk about scheduling follow-up and creating automated reminders, when to call people, and so forth. And then we'll end with some fun search capabilities that the system has. Now keep in mind, as we go through this training, you're going to see some things on the screen that I'm going to every once in a while kind of skip over. And again, the reason for that is we're just building a foundation right now. As we go through these 30-minute training sessions over the next 8 weeks, following that, we'll kind of have a phase 2 where we can go into a little bit more of some of the advanced features and some of the different tools and things that you can do as part of this system. But we just want to stick to just the basic fundamentals for right now. Okay? I love this. My rememberer is broken and my forgetter works perfectly. Think about for a second, before we dive into the system, I want you to think about your own follow-up system, your own contact management system. What things are you doing right now? Or what things, I should say, even were you doing prior to this system if this is your first time on here? What things do you do to try to, we all can accept and understand that not everybody says yes the very first time that we talk to them, right? It takes time to nurture that prospect, to nurture that customer, to give them information. So I want you to be thinking about the things that you do to remind yourself when you do talk to someone, whether it was someone at a restaurant, whether it was a neighbor, whether it was a family member, maybe even as a team member, talking with your downline or your upline. What things do you do to kind of keep yourself on track and keep organized? We certainly have put together a system for many reasons, but one of them, and the reason I'm starting with the customer management system first, is although this system is going to help drive traffic, it's going to help to get leads, it's going to help you have a webinar platform that you can use and tap into some incredible resources. If you just use this one feature from this first week of understanding how to better have a follow-up system to really move your prospects your prospects to become a customer, and then eventually become taking some of your customers, not all, but some, to becoming distributors as well. All right, because what we're trying to do is move them through that process over time. Okay, let's go ahead and let me share a different part of my screen. Just a second here. All right, so hopefully if you can see my screen okay. Now I've already logged into the back office, and there are 4 main tabs. There's a My Contacts tab, a Generate Prospects, Sales Tools, and Training. So what we're going to talk about mainly tonight is going to be the My Contacts tab. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And let's first talk about how to add a contact, okay? You'll see a big button here, how to add a contact. You can do that and just add one at a time. So if I were to click that, this is where you're simply going to go in. These are the things that are required as of now: a first name, a last name, an email, and then it's important that you do the fourth step, which is coming down here to select a category, okay? When you click on this, these are basically different folders, okay, that will help organize your leads. Let me show you, rather than showing you this list here, let me go back to this main screen and kind of show you where you find these. It'll be on the far left sides here. So you'll see each of these folders. This is a different category, and here's ones that come automatically with the system. We're going to talk on another week training about the landing pages. And just real quickly, there's a landing page, and each landing page has a folder that goes along with it. So that way, if anybody fills out a landing page, for example, with on the missing minerals, the 90 for life, those leads would go into this folder. If they filled out something for essential oils landing page, their information would go into this folder here. Okay, and then you can go down to the very bottom and create new category folders. Okay, so let me just show an example of that really quick. If you were to click on Add a New Contact Category Folder, you can come up here, and let's say that you have already a list of people that you've gathered from, let's just say trade shows, okay, or vendor events. So you could simply go up here to Category Name and just type in Trade Shows. Now, if that was a subcategory of another thing, you could click on this and then choose from something, whether it was from, personal emails. I'm just going to leave it. I'm just going to have a category by itself, which is called trade shows. Okay, I could put a little description if I wanted to, and then all I really need to do is hit save. So feel free to add any category folders that you have. I put the main ones, which are just friends and family, imported leads. That's if you're going to import something from whatever it is, trade shows and things like that. And then down here are going to be things from the actual landing pages. So you can go back, you can add contact one at a time like I did here, or you can go to Advanced Contact Tools. The only things I'm going to highlight today are really just these first two categories. I won't even worry about these other things for right now, okay? The Add Multiple Contacts is just a way to simply not have to go in and out of the screen. I think you can do 6 at a time here, yep. So you're just going to go one by one, and you're going to add their name, their last name, first name, and their email, and then select a category, okay? Now, down here, this says this contact will automatically receive a series of email messages from the contact category above. Do you want this contact to receive autoresponders? For right now, I would actually put no for all of these. And the reason for that is because I haven't gone through and explained how the autoresponders work. Once we do that training, you can then simply go back into a whole folder and then basically click a button and authorize the system to now start sending automatic emails out to those lists. But for right now, until we get a handle on that, I would just simply put no. Okay? The third way that you can add a contact in the system is to import a list. So you can take an existing spreadsheet or a CSV file, upload that to your desktop, and then click Import Contacts. And then right here, it's going to first ask you, what category do you want to put these people in? So that way you can, again, stay organized, add them to whatever list makes the most sense. And then just upload the file and then hit continue, and it's going to walk you through that process. And that way you don't have to go through, and if you've got a list of 500 people, for example, you're not having to go through one at a time to do that, okay? To keep things simple, everyone, I would just start with 5, 10, 15 leads that you have, people, from your list, and just do the adding either the one at a time, and don't worry about the import contacts. By the way, there's going to be there's a little tab over here, this fourth thing that says training. If you were to click on that, there are training videos on everything that we're going to be talking about, not just today, but just the whole system. But if you were to go into the video directory, and you can see here we've kind of put in just some of the basic fundamentals. A lot of these over here on the far left, like if you were to click on contacts, you're going to see all the different things as far as how to do things. So if you were to click on import contacts, it'll walk you through step by step, okay, of exactly how you create a CSV file or whatnot. Or if you just want to do a quick add, you can click on that. If you hit manage contacts, not every training video will have a video with it, or training section will have a video with it, but this one does. If you were to click on this, it'll not only explain it to you, but you'll actually visually it'll walk you through the exact steps of how to do that. Okay? All right, so let's go back to My Contacts. All right, so those are the first 3 things to do. Adding the contact, you can do them one at a time. You can also do them on your mobile app. So as part of the system, if you were to go to the Home tab up here and then scroll down, you're going to see whether you've got an Android or an iPhone. You can download these. They're free. They're free to all the subscribers. And let me explain one of the areas that this is important as it relates to your contacts. So I think I did a screenshot here. So this is just a screenshot of my actual phone. So this is just an example of the app. This first one on the left, I couldn't fit it all on one screen. So this is actually, just two different pages on the same screen. So if I were out in a restaurant and I'm talking to someone and we've got some engagement and we're talking about Youngevity or the opportunity or a particular product or whatever it may be, rather than grabbing a napkin and just writing their information down, you can simply grab your phone, put their information here, and then it would be instantly stored into your back office, digitally stored, so you don't have to worry about trying to transfer it in a little bit later. And then at the very bottom part of that screen, if I were to continue to scroll down here, this is what I would see next. There's going to be a little button that says, contact category, and again, you've got to assign them to a folder. That's just to help you stay organized. And then these last two questions are really important. It'll say, this contact will automatically receive a series of email messages from the contact category above. Do you want this contact to receive these autoresponder email campaign messages? All you need to know about that is that if you were to click yes, what would happen is that lead would automatically start getting email campaigns. If you assigned them to a particular folder and you created, some kind of email to go out to them. Again, to keep it simple, just click no for right now. We're going to come back and I'll explain all of that in detail a little bit later, okay? And then this last one is just, I confirm that this person is someone that I know, and just click that and it'll slide that over, okay? All right, so now we've talked about adding your contacts from an app, adding them from the computer. Let's talk about organizing the contacts. Actually, I've already kind of explained most of that, which is, again, putting them in folders over here. So let's actually skip to the third thing, and I would say the most important thing, and one of the things in the system that you will use quite often that has been a tremendous tool and resource for me over these last several years as I've been using this system. So let's go into a particular contact. I'm just going to click a random person. Let's go ahead and click on Cindy Campbell, okay? So again, this is a particular lead. If I wasn't sure, hey, how did I come across this person, or what lead page did she fill out that brought her here? If I click on the third tab, Contact Interest, and scroll down, I'll see right here that this person filled out information on one of the landing pages called Never Pay Retail Leads. Okay, and so she filled out her information. And let's say that I'm ready to give her a call or engage in her. So you'll see here on the left, it's organized, it's got her name. It'll have her email and her phone number. By the way, these stars, you can use it. It's really just more for your own personal, use. If you were to talk to a particular lead that was, let's say, a hot lead, meaning they just showed a lot of interest and they were really engaged, you could use this system if you wanted to kind of rate them. And another week I'll kind of show you, basically, if you were to pull up your leads in a particular time, you could actually pull up and just click on your 5 or 4 star leads and just focus with those for right now. Those are the people that kind of express the most interest, okay? So this middle part here, let's say that I just had a conversation, or I'm in the middle of a conversation with Cindy. I go ahead and give her a call, and now I just want to take some notes. Instead of writing them down on a piece of paper, okay, I want to get in the habit of putting everything into the system so it's digitally stored. So what I'll usually do is click on Insert Date. Okay, you'll see it automatically puts today's date and time. And then I can just take notes. Maybe Cindy tells me she is a mother of 2 kids, and she tells me what her hobbies are, or what she does for work, or whatever it is. So I'm just taking notes, and then if I were to click Save, it would obviously save all of those notes for that particular contact. Let's say that Cindy is, we've talked for 10-15 minutes, but she has to head out the door, and so she asked me to call her back in, let's just say 2 weeks. She's leaving for a soccer game. Okay, so what I can do is I would hit save. I would go now to schedule call. Okay, she wants me to call her back in 2 weeks, so I'm just going to go to schedule call. It will pull up the calendar. I'm going to go into, today's the 13th. I will just go down to 2 weeks on the 27th. Now, if we have a particular time that she says to call, great. Let's just say she says to call at 8 o'clock. All right. If she doesn't, just put any date for that day. It doesn't really matter. But let's just say I schedule 30 minutes. Look, that's a 12-hour call there. 30 minutes, and then I would click this button, and then it would automatically, well, I put as default 2 hours before the appointment. So that day on the 27th, okay, I can go onto my phone or to my PC, and I would get a pop-up that says, "Hey Dave, call this particular lead." If I were to click on save and close, obviously it would do that. On that day, I would get a pop-up that says, "Hey Dave, call Cindy Campbell." I click on her name, it would instantly pull up the notes from before. So that way, if for some reason it's been a few days or even, in this case, a few weeks, and maybe I've talked to a lot of people since then, and I can't quite remember who Cindy was, I love that I've got this little pop-up that'll pull up all of the notes from the last conversation. So again, see how you can use this even with team members, right? This does not have to be a tool just for new prospects or existing customers. This is a great tool to help follow up with your existing team. You could enter your team, you could upload your team list, you could go in and then take notes as you talk to people. What were their goals? What things are they working on? What things are they committed to? And then schedule a call to remind yourself automatically, to reach back out to that person. You can definitely give them a call when that pop-up comes, or you can send them an email. So let's just say this was Cindy. I called her back. I'll just put insert date as if it's 2 weeks later, okay? And let's say, she was very interested and, wants me to email info, okay? I could then go to send email, and this is where I could simply, type in whatever I wanted to her. Now, if you come across contacts, let's say it's after a first visit, and you kind of have a lot of the same conversations with that first person, right? Hey, can you send me some information? Can you send me a link? What you can do in this field, and I'm not going to go over a lot of detail of this, but I just want to show you really quick one of the things that you can do. You could say, right, hi, and instead of writing Cindy's name, if you were to go to this box, contact merge file, and just put first name, okay? I can say, here is the info you asked for. And then I can insert a link. I can do a hyperlink here. I can insert a picture. I can insert a video. Let's say she really wanted to know, well, this is just a list of videos. I'm not going to, let's just say I picked this particular one. I can insert that. I can even change it to a thumbnail so it's a little bit more of an attractive thing. And then that way that video is actually embedded inside the actual email. They don't have to be redirected somewhere else to YouTube or something to watch the video, okay? And then, it was great talking with you, and, sincerely. And then, again, instead of just entering in my name, I could just put accountant full name. I can do drop downs where I can put my phone number. I can put, my Facebook URLs. Whoops, I should go to the next line. And so forth, okay? So you see how simple that is. You're just using simple drag and drop features. And the reason why I did it this way instead of writing in Hi Cindy is that if this was something that, I found myself using quite often, people want a particular link to the same site, or, you want to give them a basic overview of Youngevity, maybe include the betterment video or something like that. You can simply save these as templates. And so that way when you go up here to choose email follow-up, rather than having to type from scratch each and every time, you could just click on this and then click click one of the templates, and it would automatically pull up that template, and then it would insert automatically the lead's name. Okay, whether you're going to send this to one person or whether you're going to email blast a group of 500 people, you just simply type the information here and then send it, and it would go out to all those individuals and would include their first name automatically. So it feels like it's a little bit more of a personalized message rather than just some mass email that went out to everybody. Okay? there's that. Let me go ahead and get back to this. So honestly, folks, those are the main features that you really need to know with the contact management system, okay? You're having a way that you can be out in the field and have an iPhone app or a tablet app that you can instantly put in information and then have it digitally stored into your back office, and then remind yourself to give them a call, whether it's in a day or a week or 2 weeks or whatever it may be. You have the ability on the apps to even send them information right there from your phone with the okay? So we've talked about how to add contacts. Again, real quick review. You can click add contact and just add contacts one at a time. All right, I've showed you how to import contacts in the advanced tools. We've talked about how this system is going to help organize your contacts into folders. Some basic folders that are standard for everyone in the system, and then you can go in and create new categories, a new folder of your own. Okay? Again, it could be titled trade show list. It could be titled my neighbors. It could be titled church friends, whatever it may be. Again, keep helping you organize that. And then we talked about how to go in and schedule calls with someone, how to schedule reminder calls and follow-up meetings, and how to take notes and digitally store that. The last thing I want to go over is going to be some of the advanced search tools, okay? So I'm going to click on advanced search, and I won't go over each and every section, but I want to show you, you will use this in time more and more. Maybe not so much at the very beginning, because at the very beginning you don't have a lot of leads, or maybe not even a lot of contacts that you've imported. However, once you start putting people in there and you start seeing the activity that happens on the website, this is a very, very powerful tool. I'm just going to highlight a few things here. So I could go down to contact activity, and there's a drop down, and I could say, hey, I want to maybe send an information, or I'm just curious to know anybody that has maybe opened up a follow-up email that was sent out. I could say I want to know anybody in the last 4 weeks, or last, today, or last 7 days, or whatever. You can kind of choose from different times, okay? And then I can search and have it just pull up the leads based on the particular activity. Maybe I want to say, hey, anybody in the last month that's viewed a video on my website. Well, why are these things important? Well, because certainly it's helpful to, instead of calling 1,000 people on your list from your contacts, if you've got limited time. So it allows you to kind of say, hey, I'm going to talk first to the people who are showing activity, who've shown some engagement and some interest on my website. It's so powerful to know that, as compared to sending someone to your corporate replicated site, right, which is the username.youngevity.com. You can send someone there, but you have no idea when they go there, what do they watch? What do they click on? What matters to them? So this system allows you to track the activity that happens on the website, and then from there you can use this advanced search tool to filter people and to contact them. Maybe they downloaded a particular PDF, whether it was the compensation plan or top 10 uses of essential oils or whatever it may be. Again, you can click on that and then choose your time period and so forth. Okay. Next, I can click on email information. So actually, I'm going to skip that one for now for the sake of time. You can sort things by the date that they were added to the system. You can also filter times that they visited your website. So you can say, hey, I want anybody that's come, visited my website, before a particular date or after a particular date, okay? Or anybody that's been on my site in the last, 30 days, for example. You can then click on location. You can filter by location. So I can say, hey, I just want to send information out to somebody in a particular country. I can select that, and it would organize it automatically, your leads by that. Or maybe a particular city. Maybe there's an event coming up in California, and so I might say, or Southern California, maybe Doc is coming out to something, and so I can filter my leads by geographical area, and then send out information just exclusively to them, okay? This custom fields is, there's some surveys that people can fill out, prospects, saying what they're interested in. So this just shows a few examples, just some of the categories, right, from mineral makeup to coffee to essential oils and so forth. And so I could say anybody that's expressed interest in, let's say, body cleanse and detox, I could choose this, and say yes. And maybe we come out with a new cleanse, tea that's a cleanse or something like that. I can send out information just to that specific group, focusing on the things that they're interested in and the things that they wanted, rather than trying to spam family and friends and even contacts with just really generic stuff. This system is going to allow you to organize your contacts, digitally store things so you don't have to write things on that random piece of paper or that napkin that goes into your pocket into that black hole that you forget about. It's just going to help you stay organized, keep track of things, and then be able to market people a little bit better. Okay? All right, you guys, that's really, in a nutshell, the main things I wanted to focus on. So there are 7 other training classes and tutorials that we're going to do each and every week, each and every Thursday, 8:30 Mountain Time. Well, thanks, everyone, for joining our webinar. So excited that we're kind of breaking out our training sessions like this. We used to do these hour-long things, and I think people were getting just a little bit overwhelmed. So we really want to keep things simple, week by week. So we're going to talk, for example, today was on conduct management. We're going to have another training session that will talk about how to generate leads. What are some things that I and other people who are using the system and having success with it, what are some ways in which we drive traffic to find new prospects, not just in our local areas, but even globally in other countries and so forth, okay? We'll talk about in 1 week just how to use the webinar platform, not how you have the option to create your own webinars, but we're putting together webinars for you. For example, we've got a great one that Scott Fardulis did. We have got a great one that Lorette Willis recently did, a fantastic one that we're uploading to the back office so that you can now plug in your people, your prospects to any of these webinars rather than feeling like you have to come up with them on your own. Okay? So we're going to take one feature at a time each week. And again, thanks for your time tonight. I'm keeping within the 30 minutes. And have a great night, everyone. We will talk soon. Bye.